So let's talk first about the absence of the 3.5 millimeter audio jack on every device nowadays. Now, I grew up in the era of the MP3 player and the iPod and the PSP and all that fun stuff. So I was accustomed to pretty much any battery operated electronics device capable of outputting sound to have a 3.5 millimeter audio jack for headphones or for an aux cord or whatever. And all of a sudden, that just disappeared, like almost overnight. And yeah, Bluetooth headphones are fun and all, but it adds another layer of inconvenience because now you have two devices that you have to make sure are charged, right? So previously, if you had, a set of in-ear earbud style headphones, you didn't need to charge those. The power, the electrical power came from the device that you were listening on. So you'd grab your iPod, and if you had your headphones already, all you had to worry about was whether or not the iPod was charged that day before you went out and lived your life that day, right? But now you got to make sure that, oh, my phone's charged, but my phone was on the charger so long that I forgot to charge my headphones. So now I've got no way of listening to my music unless I buy one of these adapters that plugs into the phone charging port on your phone, which means that you can no longer charge your phone while you listen to music if you're using that. So that's like another layer of inconvenience. You know what I'm talking about, right? You plug your USB-C connector, which I love, by the way. See my previous video about USB-C. You plug your USB-C adapter thing into the port on the phone, and then you plug your headphones into the adapter, and then you can do that. But number one, that requires you to buy a separate thingy that you didn't have to do before, which contributes to more electronic waste. And number two, now you lose access to the USB-C input port on the phone or the, iPod or whatever it is. Does Apple still make iPods anymore? I don't even know. But you know what I mean? It's something that we had the convenience of at one point when technology, arguably peaked, and we don't have that level of convenience anymore. Like, sure, you don't have to deal with a cord to get tangled or snapped or whatever. Now I appreciate having options, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not against Bluetooth. I like Bluetooth. But to completely eliminate the ability for me to use an aux cord or headphones just pisses me off. It's like, why are we going backwards? Why are we going backwards when it comes to tech? And another thing, on the topic of audio, this is going to be like a two-in-one video. On the topic of audio quality on streaming services is actually inferior to what you had on a device that held all of your songs. And you might not know what I'm talking about, but basically, if you extracted audio from a CD and put it on your computer and then put it onto your iPod, you had the option of choosing what bit rate that you could rip those songs from that CD at. Or if you bought the songs digitally, you could usually just download the highest bit rate available. Bit rate is the amount of detail in the sound. So if you're listening to a song on Spotify or YouTube or some other streaming service, you're likely not getting the best possible audio quality that song has. Whereas if you listen to it on, like if you listen to the MP3 or WAV file from the CD at the highest possible bit rate, you're getting a good quality audio. And the reason that Spotify and these other streaming services don't do that anymore is because of network bandwidth. So network bandwidth, they don't want to be constantly streaming more data than they need to stream. I understand that if you pay for like the more premium versions of these streaming services, then yes, you do get the higher bit rate. But you still don't own that music. You are still at the whims of network availability in your area. So even if you're paying Spotify or Apple Music or whoever the premium price to get the higher bit rate, that higher bit rate might not be available to you if you're, in a subway tunnel or just somewhere where the network isn't great. Or maybe you're at like a large event and like there's like, 50,000 people there and they're all on their phones and like the network is clogged and they have to downgrade you to the lower bit rate while you're there, right? You don't have that problem with an old school MP3 player. So like why are we introducing problems that we don't need, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure that corporations figured out that they can, keep selling you a subscription to something instead of selling you the thing itself. We all know that by 2030 they want us to own nothing and somehow be happy. But it really just starts to annoy me to a degree that I just, I feel like I'm sounding like one of these old guys who's like, oh, back in my day, things were just so much better. But I am noticing like a genuine decline in the actual quality of the things that we used to have. And we took those things for granted. So, I'm not sure how to feel about this because I know that the technology exists. The technology never stopped existing, right? It's not like all of a sudden the world forgot how to manufacture 3.5 millimeter audio jacks. It's not like all of a sudden people forgot that they could load songs onto their phones or their other devices, right? It just became like a matter of convenience, I think, at least for the streaming part. I don't know. It's just really, it really just eats me up that younger people are going to have to just accept a lower quality of life with regard to consumer electronics and also everything else, to be honest. I mean, the world's kind of going to hell in a handbasket very quickly, as you might be noticing. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out. Thank you.